Thank you, sir. Chair, Ambassador Sohail Amin, and all the distinguished guests, my fellow panelists. I actually am not sure whether I'll be able to tackle in the deep way that he mentioned at the beginning, because we all have to pay a kind of a six-a-side, because we have six mates in our team and we all are given 8 minutes. So therefore, I'll run through my slides, but my objective is not to go into deep details, but just to highlight the threat that is being emerging in case of non-nuclear weapon states like Sri Lanka, as well as how we can touch or how we can tackle this problem with a sense of professionalism. So my topic is actually nuclear terrorism and theft at borders. It is said that it is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That means in the case of terrorists, acquiring nuclear material or nuclear weapon is actually one day it will happen. So the intellectual community in the world actually is trying to manage it for the maximum level in various places, but in my presentation I'll take the borders of the countries, which are very practical and a very pragmatic tool to manage this kind of a menace. And also it is said that if the essential nuclear materials are in hand of the terrorists, it's, the production of a weapon is in free source tools on internet. You can actually find the knowledge in internet without any hassle. So with that, I'll go to my presentation. Now, the size of a nuclear weapon or the material that you pass from one country to another, it is immaterial. If you can see the picture, the sizes of two bombs, one is huge, the other one is actually you can carry in a suitcase, where even a 1 kilogram of enriched uranium, if you can pass from one country to another, or if you can finally pass it on to the hand of the terrorists, you can do a harmful devastation. And in our planet, this is the very beautiful planet that we live, we have over 19,000 approximately weapons in the stockpiles of 9 nuclear weapons possessing states. 5 of them are legal and the other 4 are considered as not adhered to certain international mechanisms. And it has 6 billion tons of nuclear material, these countries, which can have an impact of 500,000 times than Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs. So you can see the problem before us and the depth of the problem before us. Now you can see, there are certain international mechanisms, there are certain international tools, there are certain international bodies who are working to properly manage this type of menace. So they have created certain indicators. International nuclear and radiological event scale is one of them. And according to this scale, there are so many events being occurred. It goes to 7 levels. Level 1 to level 7. Level 7 includes the major accidents, and level 1 are normally anomalies, and level 2 is my concern, events taking place. There are over 4,000 events taken place of nuclear theft at various places, not only at borders but at various places. These are indicators to say that this is, these illegal mechanisms are working and people are interested of getting them into their hands, especially terrorist organizations. So from 2000, there's another indicator called Global Incident and Trafficking Database, which shows from 1993 to 2011, the level of incidents increased and decreased, but still the incidents are there. And in case of Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka is reported under countries with 2 incidents category. Even India is reported under 2 incidents category. My point here is we cannot trust these kind of, material or these kind of tools, because one tool to the other has a huge difference. But what it says was, now in case of United States, 53 incidents occurred, but in case of India, 2 incidents occurred, and in case of Pakistan, it's 2 incidents occurred, and in case of other countries, so, the reliability of these sources is also a matter, because most of the countries don't like to reveal the kind of nuclear incidents occurring, or illegal nuclear incidents, or theft, or other incidents occurring in their soil. There are gaps. That's why these things occur. Uninspected shipping containers is one of the most grave dangers that countries have at borders. In such cases, Sri Lanka faced recently 2 incidents. Luckily, they all came through the seaports. One incident is recently, last year, there was an incident recorded. One machine imported from Yokohama port, which was used at the nuclear Fukushima site in Japan, which has some radioactive material inside the machine. And that machine was brought to Sri Lanka and recorded heavily radioactive. And then they wanted to send it back, but the problem was none of the drivers at the customs offered themselves to go and drive that container because of the fear. And after that, when I personally spoke to these officials, they say they don't report these things to the media because it can create a hyper situation with fear psychosis of the people. So most of these things don't come into the layman's table. So, but the threat is still there. And verification also, again the poor intelligence cooperation, because in South Asia we know, because of the ambitious situations that countries have, they don't cooperate with each other on the reliable information about these thefts. And unsecured nuclear storage facilities. Last year at the Kodankulam power plant, within the 5-kilometer radius, there was a bomb blast occurred. And that itself shows, Hindustan Times reported it, that itself shows that it is not safe. And I'll go to my next slide and show these are some cases reported in India, and the source is also indicated. And again, there is a report about Pakistan securing the bomb. It is published by Harvard University Belfer Center, and it is said that Pakistan's stockpile faces a greater threat from Islamic extremists seeking nuclear weapons than any other nuclear stockpile on earth. So this is the danger that we have. And weakly protected nuclear reactors. Nuclear reactors in South Asia, there are many nuclear reactors, but we don't know the management and the safety culture of these are sufficient enough to protect all, and whether they can say that we are living in a protected region. And export and import control regimes. I don't have to mention to Sri Lankans the things that we saw in our papers last few months, containers full of sometimes drugs. If they can come, why can't this nuclear material come into our country? So we have to be vigilant about all these things, because these we are talking about, expensive things you can sell at, at a very high price. Also, in India especially, there is a problem of selling these radioactive, waste to the scrap dealers. There was another incident reported in Sri Lanka that we found certain kitchen utensils which are radioactive. So this is, the problem of management. Again, the black diamonds, that radioactive, this radioactiveness can be used to create very expensive black diamonds, and this is a risk. So therefore people go for money. This is not politics or this is not geopolitics. People merely go for money. If they can earn by selling it to a terrorist, it is not a problem for them. So therefore, we have to be very careful about what we do, and we have to be very vigilant, and we have to be aware about what we have in our, what we have, what we import and what we export at our borders. And what are the remedies? Thankfully, United States Megaport initiative is there, but only at the harbor. There are 17 portals which can, detect all this material, but only at the seaport, but not at the airport or I don't know, in our Navy, our Coast Guard are capable enough to identify this stuff and whether they are getting training. And research and development is actually needed. People need to do research about this. And development of the human resources. In that case, I'm glad to say that KDU is starting a border security management course very soon, and these type of initiatives should be there in the future. And international cooperation is needed. Sri Lanka is a perfect place to have such cooperation because Sri Lanka is located in such a place, and Sri Lanka has relations with all these states in South Asia as well as in the West, and they can promote something like, I should coin the word, nuclear diplomacy. We had something called conference diplomacy in 70s and 60s, where all these people used to come here to solve their problems. So let's solve this problem of nuclear threat in the region with us. And last but not least, I should say the sense of professionalism that we should have, because we have produced people like Justice Veeramantri, Ambassador Jayantha Dhanapala, Ambassador yesterday Palihakkara, people like our Dr. Rohan Gunaratne, internationally renowned people who can do research and who can advise the government on these things. So that is the professionalism that we have. But where are these people? They are not in our country, they are working for somebody else. So let them come here and solve this problem for us and advise and start this kind of safety mechanism and safeguard our nation for the future. Thank you.